He's back!
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm sharing a couple trade setups that I am watching personally. Let's jump in. All right, guys, first of all, I just want to say thank you for joining me back on the channel. It's good to be back. I took some time and went to the beach last week. It was really nice and pretty relaxing. Hopefully you can tell I'm a little darker than I was. I got a little sun, which was good, and happy to be back on the charts with you guys. So a couple charts that I want to actually share with you here as we get started with this week. First of all, I want to talk about the Australian dollar. And the Australian dollar, I haven't been trading a lot of currency pairs recently just because I've found so many good setups recently with the indices, and I've been trading gold a lot. But this one caught my eye, and I want to show you guys where I'm at with the Australian dollar, as there may be an opportunity, in my opinion, to sell this market going into this week. From a technical analysis perspective, if we look left, you can see that there was a major level of support right around 66600. That's a little bit of a sketchy number, but the point is we have this 666 number that does seem very interesting to watch going into this week. Now, why? Well, if you take a look at the way candlesticks reacted to this level after finding a bit of a supportive bounce. So we see price make a move higher, but then we absolutely sell off. And notably, we come down to this support zone on this candle. You could have said, hey, well, you know, it should probably bounce from here. Well, it said nope, and it broke right underneath. And with this candle, it really sealed the deal. Now, why am I pointing this out if this is old historical data? Well, we can study the way markets reacted in the past to possibly find a setup in the future. And as this market continued to sell off, this showed me there was a clear level of what was support now became potential resistance going into this week. And so, if we see the Australian dollar rally up into the 61.8% retracement, I think there might be a nice confluence sell opportunity when looking at this chart. So I'll be watching out for a setup there and probably looking to sell this thing on a retracement if we start to get it this coming week. So again, let's talk a little bit more about the setup. Beyond just the technical chart, here's what else I'm watching. We had the fun idea to actually flip the script and have our team here at A1 Trading do the trading, and we would kind of do a little bit of a competition. The winning team gets $100. Whoever trades better in this 3-week stretch gets $100.
I lost money.
What'd you do? Okay, so now I'm taking a look at the commitment of traders data for this past week, and the latest data shows me something very interesting about the Australian dollar specifically. If you take a look here, this is showing the long to short percentage ratio of the large speculators in the markets. This is talking about things like hedge funds and institutional traders abroad here in the United States, okay? So the COT report data shows us that there is a very hefty lean on the short side of the Australian dollar. Now, this is really intriguing because, again, if we know they're very short Aussie dollar, I'm probably going to want to be more aligned with this, as these are the professional traders. Are they always right? No. But it can be very useful to know where they're positioned going into a week like this. Now, we compare it to the US dollar, it's pretty mixed, right? There's about a 50-50 shot here in terms of positioning. There's not really a huge preference, 55 to 45 approximately. Regardless though, the Australian dollar is the interesting component here. And so when I look at this setup, I'm pretty intrigued on the sell side. Now, when we take a look at the overall report that the EDGEFINDER gives us, we can see that the Australian dollar has a very bearish reading. In fact, it is our #1 sell rated currency pair here on the EDGEFINDER at this time. You can see it gets a very bearish reading. How is it getting that reading? Well, it's taking into account several factors: the commitment of traders, retail sentiment, seasonal trends, trend reading, GDP, inflation, unemployment, and interest rates. Taking into account all of these things and punching out a very bearish reading. Now, of course, if you don't know all of this stuff, if this is a lot to you, you can also check out one of our tutorial playlists that we put together on the EDGEFINDER. There will be a link popping up in the top right hand of the screen right now. Anyways, again, the COT data shows us there's a short bias there, and we can also take a look at retail sentiment. What I find very intriguing is that the Australian dollar has a very heavy long presence, 69%, nice, on the long side when it comes to this currency pair. So there's a huge preference from retail traders to buy this currency pair. That is actually a bearish signal to me because, again, we know that on average, retail traders tend to lose money. And so if they're losing money buying the Australian dollar, I'd be more interested on the sell side. So that's where I'm positioned, or where I'm looking out for on the Australian dollar. Let's talk about another setup that I'm currently already in myself. Okay, so next up on our list is the NASDAQ. I am actually currently already in a long position. Now, of course, this is not a currency pair, and viewers of my channel know that I love to trade indices, gold, and currency pairs, but this setup looks really intriguing to me. What you'll notice is that from a technical analysis perspective, the NASDAQ came down to a level of support that was previously a key level of resistance. Look at the way these candlesticks broke through the highs. Really strong conviction there, really showing buyers are strong. Well, price came down to this area, and I took this as an opportunity to go ahead and get long myself. Now, on top of this, we also have a nice upward trajectory and higher lows and higher highs, as illustrated by this gray zone, the trend line here that we're using to show the upward trajectory. So from a technical analysis perspective, I like the NASDAQ on the long side and already have a trade open. I'll show that to you now. Okay, so here is my current position on the NASDAQ. You can see I'm floating in a small loss, about $300 down. And I do also want to say my stop loss is in place in case I'm wrong about this trade. I've already called this one out to members inside of our Discord community, so they know that if this trade breaks through support, I'll be stopping out of this trade. But if we're able to rally, I think we could get some really good risk reward off of this trade, which is why I took the position. Let me show you beyond the technical charts why in just a second. Before I share that with you guys though, I just want to remind you, if you're not already inside of our free Discord channel, we are opening it up to everyone now. If you would like to join the free Discord channel, there's trade ideas being shared here. There's coverage for latest news announcements, as well as links to our live streams when they're dropping. If you'd like access to all that stuff totally for free, there will be a link at the top of the description to get access to our free Discord server. Again, myself and my team are sharing trade setups and ideas throughout the week. So if you'd like to get access to this, again, click the link that's in the description now, and it is free to join. All you have to do is just put your email in so that we know you're a real person and not a spammer trying to spam our Discord, which we have had issues with in the past. So again, I like the NASDAQ long, but it's not just the technical chart. It is also, if we take a look at the watch list signals tab, you can see that the NASDAQ gets a very bullish reading alongside actually all three of the major US indices, right? The major US indices are all very bullish. NASDAQ specifically gets a score of +6. COT is not very convincing. Retail sentiment doesn't really help us out, but where we really score high is a couple key categories. Seasonal trends suggest that August is a positive month for the NASDAQ. Let me show you that. All right, guys, so what I've got shown on the screen now is the seasonal month-to-month trend of the NASDAQ 100. Now, you can access this data for yourself if you do have the EDGEFINDER. If you do not, there will be a link down below in the description to purchase our software if you're interested. We're a software company out of Atlanta, Georgia. We build tools for traders, and the seasonal trends tab is one of our customers' favorite things to use. It's also one of my favorite things to use in my own trading. Because when we take a look at the NASDAQ 100 right now, what you can see is that the month of August, historically speaking, on a 10-year average basis, the last 10 years, it's averaged about 2.17%. That's a pretty good average. Now you can see comparing that to September and October, which are not great months historically speaking, August is. And so that has me bullish this month, thinking that, okay, so far the white line represents what we've done this year. So far the NASDAQ has not moved too much. I'll be very interested to see if we can actually get a positive month out of the NASDAQ based on this historical seasonal trends. Now, again, I use this data here to help encourage or to find better setups in my trading that don't just involve purely technical charts, because I believe data is powerful and using it to your advantage can be very, very useful. So what else does the NASDAQ have going for it? Well, seasonal trends, as we just saw, look positive. The trend is still slightly up on a longer term basis. GDP growth looks positive. We have a strong GDP output growth here in the United States, and inflation seems to be going in the right direction, which gives us a +3 overall. Now, why? Well, inflation has come down from its very high levels. It's coming in the right direction. The latest change has been in the right direction, so on and so forth. Inflation is a key metric that the Fed watches to decide whether or not to raise or not their interest rate, right? So interest rates move the markets dramatically, whether you're watching US dollar, gold, NASDAQ, whatever. The Fed is really impactful. So this actually gives us a really big positive score as well. Unemployment has been pretty healthy. That shows some economic strength there, which is good for stocks. And then finally, interest rates are a barrier, right? We saw an interest rate hike in the previous round. That will interestingly be something to watch as we get our next decision from the Fed later on. I believe it's in September. So nothing to change there for a little while. But again, we get an overall very bullish reading. And so I am positioned long. We'll see if I'm right about that. By the time you guys see this video, I might have been stopped out or I might be in profit. I don't know what the market is going to do all the time. I am looking to trade setups that meet my criteria over and over. And I know that whether it be this trade or the next trade, over the long term, I'll do fine by employing my strategy as I've done it for many years now. Anyways, that's going to be everything for me setups wise this week. I do want to remind you guys, join our free Discord channel if you have not already. The link will be down below in the description. I'd love to meet some of you guys inside of the Discord. And also, if you'd like to pick up our software tools, as I mentioned here, the link will be down below in the description as well. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. If you're looking to improve as a trader, we've got some cool free resources here that I wanted to share as we close today's video. Down below in the description, there is a link to join our Discord channel or our Telegram channel. And we also have our website, a1trading.com, where traders can get access to free course material to help you improve as a trader. Remember, we are also live Monday through Friday on this channel around 9:30 a.m. US Eastern, broadcasting most live news events and that sort of thing. So hope to see you there. And also, we do have a couple videos here showing up on the screen. If either of these seems like it might be helpful to you, then make sure to click here or here, and we'll see you there.